During a recent turkey hunt, Clay and I set up on a ridge we call 50 Acre. The south side of the 50 Acre ridge is a bedding area we've managed for years by cutting cedars and using prescribed fire. This area now is a high-quality savanna, scattered oak trees with great stands of native grasses and forbs. The vegetation during the spring is relatively short, which makes great bugging and nesting areas for turkeys. Clay and I had just started calling, hoping a tom would be in the area looking for hens that were using the area to bug or nest when we spotted movement off to the side. Fortunately, the cameras were rolling. Thankfully, the coyote got a surprise and didn't get a real meal. The decoy looked so real, it faked out a top-level predator, and it's a great illustration of how coyotes kill turkeys. Consider that a hen lays 1 egg per day and typically lays about 10 eggs. And then they sit on those eggs, incubating for 28 more days. And once they hatch, it's 14 days before the poults are mature enough to fly and roost on a limb. That's 52 days that hen and at least part of her clutch is gonna be on the ground, extremely vulnerable to predators. We gotta ask ourselves, how likely is it that there's so many coyotes, raccoons, possums, and other predators in an area that just once during 52 days, they go downwind enough of that hen and her eggs or poults to smell them and come in to get the meal? Studies for multiple ground nesting species have shown that when predators are trapped just before and during the nesting season, there's a higher chance of poult survival. Unfortunately, here in Missouri, our trapping season closes at the end of January, and we can't do that important job of trapping right before and during the nesting period. With turkey populations down in many states, it may be time for some state agencies to consider allowing sportsmen to help them in managing the turkey population by extending trapping seasons through that critical period. I'm certainly concerned about declining turkey populations in many areas. Now, I will admit we have pretty good turkey populations here at the proving grounds, but you may recall we are removing as many raccoons, possums, and coyotes as we can during the legal trapping season, paired with working to have good quality habitat. Even with those concerns, it was still an incredible observation to watch that coyote rush in and try to grab that turkey by the neck.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Reconics, Eagle Seed, Winchester, Avian-X Decoys, Lacrosse Footwear, Morel Targets, Hoyman, Hooks Custom Calls, Summit Tree Stands, RTP Outdoors, Yamaha, Fourth Arrow, Onyx Hunt, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Bloodsport Arrows, Code Blue, Decode, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
Last week we shared that pro staffer Danny Noggle had a great hunt on Missouri's opening morning of turkey season, and even with extremely foggy conditions, was able to punch his tag on a mature tom. Boom, baby. Turkey hunters are allowed to tag 2 toms in Missouri during the spring season, but only 1 during the first week. So with Danny being tagged out for that first week, he swapped a Winchester for the camera with his filming partner, Bradley Lukenhoff. One morning during the hunt, Bradley had a neat observation of a hen coming in to check out the decoys. After a few minutes, she drifted off the way she came. That hen was the only turkey Bradley saw that morning, so he decided to scout another area for fresh sign. While scouting a cattle pasture on a property he has permission to hunt, he found several sets of fresh tracks and believed toms were using this area to strut and feed. There was rain in the forecast, so Bradley and Danny decided to place a redneck ghillie blind in the pasture so if the weatherman was correct, they could still hunt.
So those birds have been roosting down on this ridge right here. We have that redneck sitting in that cattle pasture that we set up for the rain. I say we get up on this field, see if we can get one to gobble. We'll see exactly where they are. If anything, there's those logging roads we can just run down, try to cut them off. But if they're decently close, I say we throw the avians out in this field, jump in the redneck, and see if we can just call them up to us.
Light was just breaking when Bradley and Danny entered the pasture, and Danny hooted on his Harrison hooting stick.
He is right there.
Bradley quickly set up the decoys as the toms gobbled on the limb.
God, you love that. Get old enough to know we're here, right? Yeah. They're right there, dude. That sounds like on the ground. Yeah, he's on the ground. They're definitely on the ground now. On that ridge down, ain't they like this road maybe? They're coming. I think they're coming. And we should see them in plenty of time, huh? Yeah. Yeah, there they are. There they are. See them? Yeah, they're coming up through the woods. To the right. Yeah. Get that GoPro. Yeah, just turn it on. Shoot that left one. Just let him work the decoys up. You know, he's gonna jump that jake, ain't he?
Look at that hawk.
Oh, dude.
I can't believe a hawk just came down to hit a turkey. there's a hawk sitting on your turkey right now. There it goes. God, dude. Oh, I'm so stoked right now.
Probably inch long spurs. Big long beard. Man, nice spurs. Decent beard. Well, Danny and I came and set up this morning, set up in the redneck. This is just a big cattle pasture. And within 30 minutes, we've got a big bird on the ground. Got to watch a good show with both these birds come in, and then even after we shot this one, that second bird just stuck around for a little bit. But we came and brought this redneck in a few days ago. The last 3 or 4 days has been nothing but rain, so we figured they'd be coming in to feed in this field. Didn't have any luck, but this morning the birds were within 100 yards on the roost, and we got set up, gave just a couple calls, and they came in on a string. And like I said, they put on a great show. Beat up the decoy just a little bit, but that's part of it. So incredible morning. We're just happy to do it.
Congratulations, Bradley, on scouting and making a good plan. That Tom will provide several meals for you and your family. I'm receiving a lot of questions about how to establish food plots. If you have questions about our techniques, simply check out the food plot playlist on our channels. Turkey season's open for a few more days here in Missouri, and it's almost time to start planting food plots, although the weatherman says the temperatures are dropping back into the 40s for a few more nights. No matter the conditions, it's always good to get outside and enjoy creation, but most important, take time every day to be quiet and listen to what the Creator is saying to you. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.
See where it landed in the mud on the back.
Oh yeah.
It got flipped over. There was a big scratch mark right there. See where he's sitting right there?
Yeah.
And right there in front of your foot.
Live to hunt another day.
They're tough decoys. They obviously look very realistic because he was right on it.